Hi, good morning everybody. Wow, what a January we've had, haven't we? What a start. Australia on fire, China into virus meltdown with flow-on effects globally. The Philippines rocked by a volcano, Jakarta flooded, an assassination in Iran, the Trump impeachment saga, Brexit finally happened, and last week on the coast, we were battered by cyclonic rains, so we had floods. Wow, what a start. I'd like to think that with the new moon coming into Pisces on Saturday, that's tomorrow our time, that things will be a little less frenetic. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. In December, I wrote about the huge energy shift we were expecting in mid-January, just after the full moon. And as an astrologer, I cannot predict what will happen. I can just indicate the potential for what activities we may experience. I was not expecting Australia to be on fire, and I was not expecting to be evacuated from my holiday home at Port Punker because of fires. As it happened, that full moon on the 12th, 13th of January, that weekend was when the fire activity peaked and predictably waned as the moon waned too. But this became for me a lesson in adaptability and acceptance. You know, you can't change what happens, you just have to suck it up and move on. No damage, everything's just fine. But the global energy manifestation is a global reset. I apologize for the birds, I can't control them. And the global reset invites us to let go of what no longer serves us and what's outdated, and really embrace technology and new ideas to create a better world for us. The energy of Pluto purged our land. Saturn provides the structure for the rebuild. Jupiter, not far behind, brings in the largesse that has come to us from all over the world that we need to rebuild and begin again. And hopefully we can create a better foundation for moving forward. May I remind you that last time we had this energetic alignment in Capricorn, Martin Luther successfully seeded from the Catholic Church and ushered in a whole new era. And prior to that, a new method of accounting paved the way in the 1200s, for the evolution of the trade, for the evolution of accounting for trade. And it was the beginnings of the double entry accounting system that we now use today. Really interesting. So we're going through a huge energy shift. But you know, the new moon in Pisces, it's much gentler energy. It's time for rest and contemplation in Pisces energy. We are into February, thank goodness for that. And the gentle Pisces energy in harmony with ruler Neptune invites us to slow down, to be reflective, to pause our mind, to pause our mad rush to where? What are we rushing for? Why? Who for? Take time to consider who you are, where you are, and what future you really want for you. Actions follow thought. Therefore, how do we program our minds to direct our physical bodies to do what we need to do to generate the future we want? Understand that at this particular time, our thoughts can be effectively influenced by the illusionary energy around us. We have the capacity to really imagine, to feel the future we want for ourselves. In this way, we can integrate the mind, the body, and the spirit, if you believe you have one. I think we've all got one, but you don't have to agree with me. So now this change of energy comes in with the new moon on Saturday the 23rd, tomorrow. And we're given time and space to reflect on what has happened and learn lessons. I would like to think that those in positions of power and influence in Australia will encourage more suitable building, more sustainable building in locations less prone to fire, and that there will be a program of controlled burning like there used to be with our Indigenous forebears. I'm sure there are many, many more lessons. The powerful new moon is most conducive to bringing in innovative new ideas, plans, and dreams. It is a really good time to make space for meditation. If this is not your thing, that's okay. Be prepared to take a long walk, a long bike ride, a long swim, and allow your thoughts just to float through your mind. You may be surprised what comes to your mind when you just allow space to be. It's important not to have music or other distractions occurring at that time, because you want your brain to focus on what's coming in and not have to filter out any extraneous noise. What might make things a little difficult is Mercury has gone retrograde for the first of the 3 retrograde motions in this year 2020. So he's in Pisces, and Mercury is a mischief, and so he's interrupting the energy flow at this time until mid-March. So clear communications may be a challenge. Double check your communications, your voicemail messages, your email messages. Mercury retrograde has a reputation for causing miscommunications and transport delays. I'm still trying to figure out whether or if Mercury had a hand in the energy that derailed that train just outside of Melbourne last night. However, be that as it may, this is a perfect time for contemplation, for planning, for reviewing what plans you may have had. The illusionary energies of Neptune combined with Mercury encourage real creativity, imaginative creativity that can be applied to wherever you have Pisces in your chart. It's just that the expected fast-forward journey isn't happening just yet, so just take time to imagine. I wanted to spend a bit of time talking about mental health. And more people are recognising the need and acknowledging that it's okay to take care of their mental health as well as their physical bodies. And this is a good time to consider that aspect of your being, and maybe even take a day or two off work. Many people have difficulty distinguishing self-care from self-soothing. It's a bit different. The first step in deciding to have a mental health day is determining what kind of attention you need. If you're irritable, exhausted, experiencing brain fog, disassociating, feeling drained, you may just need self-soothing. Settle down, slow down, rather than a self-care day. Nothing wrong with that. Just recognise it for what it is. On the other hand, if you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, drowning in responsibilities, tense or reclusive, you probably need some self-care. Discuss with your employer your need for a day or two off, and simply be. The world will continue to spin around without you there. It's amazing. Some tips from Pedram Shojal, the urban monk, for structuring a mental health day. Why can't all our days be like this? So, you wake up according to your circadian rhythm. So it might be 6 or it might be 8. Part of being in a job means that you have often working for someone else's timetable. You need to have good sleep. Prioritise your time, putting the most pressing need first. Often it's the one that you don't want to do. But when you do the most difficult ones first, it makes the others easier. Try and do all that is necessary in the first part of the day so that you can relax in the second part of the day. When you eat, ensure you eat mindfully. The food that best nourishes your body and mind. Often we eat in such haste that the benefits of enjoying our meals are diminished. We don't even know what we've eaten. It's just gone down like we've sucked it in, like a vacuum cleaner. Remember that if you don't take time for your body, eventually your body will force you to take time. You don't want that. Magnesium. Most of us are deficient in magnesium for a variety of reasons. And magnesium is responsible for over 300 biochemical reactions in the body. It impacts our blood pressure, our metabolism and immune functions. So obtaining adequate stores of the nutrient is vital. Every cell in your body needs magnesium to function. It's involved in energy creation, protein formation, gene maintenance, muscle movements, and nervous system regulation. Do you think it should be a priority for you to have sufficient magnesium in your diet? While supplements are available and need to be checked carefully for efficacy, the best sources of dietary magnesium are things like dark chocolate, yum, nuts and seeds, especially pumpkin seeds, yum, avocados, yum, bananas, leafy greens like kale and spinach and chard, wild caught fish, Himalayan pink sea salt, sea vegetables, sprouts of any grains, and grass-fed dairy. Well, that's a curly one. Some of us can't eat dairy, but you know, if your body can cope with dairy, go for grass-fed dairy. And according to research, our bodies do best on a combination of dietary and topical application of magnesium. So at the very least, consuming more magnesium-rich foods will reduce your chances of experiencing the hardening of your arteries, enhance your sleep, and will help balance your mood. I love applying magnesium oil to my aching legs to support the magnesium intake. If you need a good supplement, please contact me for discussion of your needs. Now, I always have a little story. So this time I got a platypus story. This is Shy. I bought her from the Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary because I just liked the look of this soft toy that really didn't look like the usual soft toy platypus. But it prompted me to seek out a story about Shy the platypus, which I had encountered as a child. Now, isn't technology amazing? I was able to get an old copy, probably printed in 1946, old, on eBay. But you know, I had platypus in my life over the summer because although the Porpunka campsite was interrupted by the fires, when I was finally able to go back, I saw platypus in the river, the muddy river. It was lovely. And I was chatting to some grey nomads who were passing through, and they said, oh yes, they see platypus regularly at some place outside of Hobart. They also claim they got platypus up near where they used to live in Cairns. And then just last weekend I had these lovely, beautiful young English couples stay with me, and they went up to Springbok National Park. They saw platypus too. How lucky are they? You know, most Australians who live here don't see platypus. And for someone who's travelling, I thought that was a real gift, and they were thrilled to bits. It was wonderful. So platypus are very shy and often difficult to spot. Why we don't see them very often. And efforts to breed them in captivity have met with little success. You can't see them much in captivity. They used to have some at Healesville Sanctuary in Melbourne. I don't know whether they still have them, but it was a big deal when they did breed. Now, a footnote. We're in Pisces. Pardon me. Pisces is concerned with hands and feet. So why not treat yourself to a pedicure? What about reflexology? I love my regular visits to Susie. Points on your feet correspond with points on your body, and stimulating them is very therapeutic, never mind soothing for the body. I always fall asleep when Susie treats my feet. If you have rough, scaly skin on the soles of your feet, Soul Solution is amazing. I rub it into my feet after I shower in the evening and allow it to work its magic overnight. Sorry about Bailey. He's my little visitor for the day. My feet remain soft and pliable, not rough, sore and flaky, despite all the beach walking. Interesting that Soul Solution was formulated after consultation with indigenous folk in the indigenous Indians in North America, and incorporates the ingredients that those people used in their own selves, their native selves. And a further benefit for these originating people is that a portion of the sale proceeds of every tube of Soul Solution is returned to the indigenous community. And I love the association with a company that cares about the origins of its product. You have an amazing new moon in February. Set new intentions, dream, create, whatever you like, but remember the Mercury retrograde occurs till mid-March, and so it's possibly best to just delay your implementation until mid-March. Bye for now.